What up? What up? What up, man? We back for another episode, another special episode tonight of Talks with the Crew. Tonight, the crew is talking boxing. Usually it's football. We've been previewing SEC teams, but this week we thought that we needed to come with a special episode for the Gervonta Tank Davis and Frank Martin pay-per-view fight that's coming on tomorrow. Of course, I'm your boy Cam. You can follow me on X at MrJCameron.com. Not .com. Well, I'm tripping. Follow me at X at Mr. J Cameron. Of course, I got my guy Matt in the building. Talk to him one
What's
time, Matt.
what's good, people? What's good? Like Cam said, got a special episode tonight. Something a little different. Still gonna be some hot takes, so it should be good, should be fun. Follow me on all the socials and on X at Coach Matt 49.
Yes, sir. I know y'all used to seeing a little Cameron Bell with us tonight, but tonight our other co-host, we got a different guy, a big time boxing fan. He knows his stuff when it comes to boxing. Me and him been talking boxing for the past couple of years, man. Very intelligent, very knowledgeable, been around the game for a long time. I got my guy, Mr. Isaiah Lightfoot.
What's going on, man? Appreciate you for having me. As you said, I tend to feel like I know my boxing a little bit. I boxed amateur for about a year and a half or so. Um, never did nothing major. I sparred some names some people might know, such as Kid Austin. He was probably the biggest name I sparred. 24 years old. I'm not too big on the socials, man, but I'm a big boxing fan, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We happy to have you on with us tonight, man. But man, let's roll right into it, man. Got a nice little card set up for tomorrow. Man. And for those of y'all that's wondering, the fights will be on tomorrow. Well, you'll be watching it Saturday, so it'll be today, June 15th, on Prime Video pay-per-view, aka Five Stick. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're looking for the fight, that's how you can find it. Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view. We got the main event, Tank versus the Ghost, Frank Martin. And it's going down in the lightweight division for that WBA belt. Tank is currently ranked what? Of course, he's a champ, so he's number one. And I want to say Frank was listed as 2 behind Zapata
Yeah.
in the WBA, man. But man, let's get right into it, man. We'll start with the co-main event, man. We got David Benavidez against I can't pronounce his last name,
Mhm.
Alexander G. That's all I say. That last name, he another Ukrainian, he another Lomachenko and Usyk style
Yeah.
fighter. Brings his lunch pail. He coming. He's a hard hitter. He is a hard head. Of course, them Ukrainians, they got a chin now. But Zay, I kick to you
Mhm.
first, man. What's your takes on that matchup? I know Benavidez is stepping up from 168 175. So what's your takes on the matchup?
Right. It's not easy. It's not an easy fight for Benavidez. I know the guy he's fighting, he hasn't been super relevant in a couple years. He got some small wins, to get his feet back wet and really get his name back popping. But I think a lot of people are underestimating. If Benavidez come in there thinking it's an easy win, if he thinking that it's really just one of those tune-up kind of fights, it can be upset. But overall, I know Benavidez is a guy who's disciplined, a guy who's focused, and I know he's gonna come in there with a point to prove. His first fight at the light heavyweight division. Um, I got Benavidez winning. Ultimately he lets his hands go at a rapid rate. Uh, doesn't back down from nobody. Um, I think Benavidez' boxing IQ is a little underrated, to be honest. I think people think he's just a brawler. I personally consider him a boxer puncher. I think he does set things up with his jab, follows it up with a 1-2. But again, the guy he's fighting is the Ukraine. Like if you know boxing, man. You fight a Ukraine, it's gonna be tough. But I got Benavidez winning unanimous decision.
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know how familiar you are with this matchup, Matt. You checked into this one at all?
Not too much into this one, but kind of what
Oh,
what y'all was saying.
so I so Benavidez, they call him the Mexican Monster. He got this name from Mike Tyson, so you should know that means that holds some weight. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson give you a
Right.
nickname and look forward to seeing you fight. This is the guy that everybody, hey, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. This is the guy that Canelo is ducking at 168.
That,
Canelo on no smoke and talking about the only way he's gonna get in the ring with David Benavidez is if you give him $200 million. They not even giving out money like that in Saudi. I don't know what Canelo, I don't know what he's thinking, but it's gonna definitely be a matchup you don't want to miss. It's gonna be a. I'm not even gonna say a matchup. It's gonna be a performance from David that you don't want to miss because he's out to
yeah,
prove, he's out to show that he really is that dude.
Yeah.
Like regardless of who he beats, regardless of what bout he takes, regardless of what route he takes, he never really gets to just do he's deserved.
right.
I got
Until,
I got
until he until he gets that Canelo fight, because everybody, I mean, Zay, you here in San Antonio, this is little Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Around here, anytime Canelo fight, oh Canelo this, Canelo.
Hmm.
But if you're a real boxing fan, you can see that Canelo is on the decline.
Right.
He on the decline. So it's a reason why he don't want to fight David Benavidez because he is that great Mexican. He is the number one Mexican fighter. If you really want to compare apples to apples and fights to fights and performances to performances, I
Yeah.
understand
Hmm.
Canelo's resume and what he's done in the past, but boxing is a game of what are you doing right now?
Right.
True. And just like you said, if Canelo's ducking him like that, only wants that big money for the fight, that's speaking volumes as far as what David can do as far as in the ring. So I think that'll be. I probably have to go with him with this one. Just listening to what y'all been saying, um, hearing those things, and especially hearing, you know, these other well-known boxers, whether it's Tyson giving him the name, whether giving him his flowers, giving him his props, or it's Canelo who's ducking him. Like you said, that's a big name. Like I even know about that. I'm not a huge boxing fan, but I know Canelo. So you know what I'm saying. So
Oh, he
seeing
the
that,
he the captain of the Mighty Ducks. So he running. You hear me?
yeah,
Canelo is ducking, duck, quack, 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 quack. 200 million.
that's wild right there, man.
Come on,
Yeah.
dog. 200 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Canelo, he bring fans out, but that's usually just in Dallas or Vegas.
mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the only place he fight.
Right.
And then you got, I know Floyd fought in Vegas, but I mean, Floyd was a whole different brand and entity, and he started this. So for Floyd to
Right.
get the money he was getting, what I'm saying, at the time he was getting, that was absurd and unheard of. Like nobody was
Absolutely.
getting a fourth of what
Absolutely.
Floyd was getting.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Floyd
Canelo to
changed the game.
yes, and Canelo caught an early L to Floyd, and Floyd
Mhm.
dog walked
Right.
him, made him look like a little boy. Like it looked like a sparring session.
And even with that fight, the Canelo and Mayweather fight, I don't like that people don't give Floyd his flowers for beating him.
Right.
A lot of people tend to say Canelo was too young. I don't necessarily agree with that. Canelo had two less fights than Floyd, and I want to say he was already a two-time world champion.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Remember, Floyd was 36. Canelo was like 23. Right? If Canelo would have beat Floyd, nobody would have said
Would have
Floyd was
said
too old.
nothing.
Right? Because whenever Floyd beat De La Hoya, I want to say Floyd was 30, 31, and De La Hoya was like 35, and they said
And
De La
De La,
Hoya was too
and
old.
and De La Hoya put all the stipulations in their contract to try to make
You
Floyd
see what I'm
not take the
saying?
fight.
Right.
And Floyd agreed to every rule, the trick he put in the contract, the rehydration clause, which is
Exactly.
that's another reason that pisses me off. I know I told you boxing go where it want to go. That's another reason that pisses me off with De La Hoya when it comes to
Yeah.
the Tank and Ryan fight, and you still crying about the rehydration clause. Like, ain't you the same person who used to put them on other people?
Yep.
You the exact same person when you were active. When you got older in age, you used to put
Yep.
rehydration on other people.
Mhm.
And if we fighting at a certain weight, if you fighting at 135, why in the world, if me being a little guy, do I want to get in the ring with somebody I know gonna be 15 pounds heavier than me on fight night?
You don't want to. That's
That
foolish.
makes zero sense. But I know me and you together, we gonna. I Matt, you got a name, I got a name. You got your social media backing. I got the hood following me, so I know we gonna make some money. Right? I mean, you
Mhm.
call it what you want to call it. It's gonna turn into a racial thing. Hey, it's the Mexicans,
Right.
the white Mexicans against the black folk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
it's gonna both of us gonna get a check. And then furthermore, at the end of the day, you knew that was in the contract before you signed on the dotted line. So
That's the key.
if you wasn't feeling it, why you put your signature on a piece of paper? So don't go. And if what folks fail to realize is was Lightfoot, I know you know, Matt, I know you're a big UFC fan, but in boxing, these fights and contracts have been in talks 14, 16 weeks before the fight. So you
Yep.
know exactly, like
Mm.
you've pretty much agreed on it, and not the lawyers are just going through the small nuances of percentages and money and venue and revenue, just all that small stuff. And that's why the fight is announced 8 to 9 weeks out. But if you notice, most of the times when they started doing like these behind the scenes, used to be all access and with Showtime. I know they got taking the gloves off, so whatever it is now, behind the gloves or gloves off, whatever it is now they got for Amazon Prime. When they go into these camps and start filming 8 weeks before camp, these boys already look like they in shape because they've been in camp for a month.
Right.
Exactly.
So you knew, so you had 3 months to get your excuses together. And they already had planned. When we catch this L, we're gonna cry about this
Right.
rehydration clause.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then the second part of it is everybody know Tank has always struggled with ballooning up.
Mhm.
So Ryan wasn't the only person who had to abide by the 10-pound rehydration clause. Tank had to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Yep.
how is it unfair? Everybody act like Tank just walk around at 134 all the time. Boy, Tank used to be a butterbean. Tank used to be fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
You know
you
what I'm
said,
saying?
you said the perfect word earlier, man. Excuses. That's all it
That's
is.
all it is. That's all it is. It's just gonna get a crowd and people something else to talk about to keep their names hot in the social media world, keep the checks flowing. That's all it is, man.
Mm.
Like we still talking about Ryan in this positive test right now, and that was
Jesus.
8 weeks ago. That was April 20th, bro. We in June, and we
Mm.
still
That,
talking.
yeah.
We still talking about this positive test.
Right.
So it is what it is, man. But David Benavidez, man, like we said, undefeated. Matter of fact, hold up, I had his box pulled up right here, Mister Cocaine. Yeah, David Benavidez, man, 28-0 with 24 knockouts.
Mm.
It's crazy.
27
It's
years
crazy.
old. 27 years old. He is 6'2" with a 74.5-inch arm reach. I think he weighed in today at 174.
Mm.
So he is good. He is good to go, man. I'm expecting a clinic.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think I think we're gonna get the best version of Benavidez.
for sure.
Obviously, what you mentioned Tank struggling with blowing up. Benavidez was the dude who used to get damn near 300 pounds. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So for him to lock back in, make 168 as long as he was making it, to be able to jump up in weight, I think only helps him.
Yeah, for sure, man. Matt, I know you're just not getting into boxing, man. We just go off of this. How do you feel about the state of boxing right now? I know boxing
Mm.
is with the different uh sides of the street and promotional groups, and you got PBC and Al Heyman, you got Top Rank and Bob Arum, you got the Zone and Match Room with your boy Eddie Hearn, you got Golden Boy with Oscar De La Hoya. I'm missing one. Who I'm missing? They just had the 5-on-5 with
Uh, the Queensberry.
Queensberry. Queensberry. So
Mhm.
what do you think about the state of boxing? Man, I know it's starting to blow back up. People are starting to get more
Yeah.
fights that fans want to see. Because that's another reason I ain't gonna lie. Pay-per-views used to turn me off because it wasn't no matchups. Like, but at least on
Yeah.
this pay-per-view card, it's worth the money if you buy it.
Yeah.
But them 5-stick boys back outside. You know what I'm saying? But what you think about the how boxing is today, man?
Man, I do think that it's definitely made a comeback. I think boxing went through a phase where it used to be real big, as far as the sports world is concerned. Then it kind of dropped off. But right now, I think, the reach of boxing, no pun intended, is starting to, reach a lot of different people, a lot of people that either used to be boxing fans and they kind of, let it go for a little while when it had
Yeah,
its dip.
yeah,
Or even new people that are new to the game that don't know anything about boxing. You can see you've got a lot of young, exciting fighters who are, they're really putting on clinics, like you said, every time they get in the ring, every time they get in the boxing ring. So it's fun to watch these guys, fun to see what they're doing. Just and we'll get into it with these two guys too. You know, the way they can manipulate their opponents, the way they can bait them in, and the way that their technique, as far as from defense, offense, whatever they're doing, it's it's something that's bringing a lot of excitement to the world of boxing. So I think it's on the uprise, and even for people like me, who I'm not the biggest boxing fan, like I'm starting to enjoy more what I'm seeing, starting to follow more guys, especially on social media, and watch these different takes, watch the the fights, the reviews of the fights and stuff like that, and even watching the fights when they come on. So it's starting to get big.
Hey, what's up, man? They drawing more casuals. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You got to start somewhere. We all start somewhere, baby. We all start somewhere. But I think you said a decision. Benavidez decision, Lightfoot.
Unanimous.
Okay. What you got?
I can agree with that.
Unanimous.
Mhm.
He's a Ukrainian, but I think being bigger, the weight difference between the smaller Ukrainians. Of course, Usyk, he a different breed, man. He a little bulldog. So
Yeah.
it's hard to stop him.
Mhm.
But I'm actually go. I think the corner gonna stop it. I think the
I'm not
corner
mad at
gonna.
that.
I think the corner gonna stop it. I'm looking at round 10. I think Benavidez gonna go ahead and put the belt to behind, and you know what I'm talking about with flurries of 15
Yeah.
punches in a row,
Yeah.
4 uppercuts in a row with a left hook over the. You know what I'm talking about, Lightfoot. Like boy throws
Yeah.
some.
It gets
Boy would
dangerous in
throw.
there.
Boy would throw a 8-punch combination and
Mhm.
follow it up with 4 uppercuts. Like dude is ridiculous, man. Hand
Yeah.
speed is ridiculous, and there's power with it. And what I enjoy about watching Benavidez so much is he's smiling and laughing at you the whole time.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm.
Like you can hit him with your best shot, and he walks forward the entire time. Like
Yeah.
he don't jog around the ring. He
Yeah.
literally walks you down. Like when they say walk
Dangerous.
you down, and he's a man. He has started. He used to struggle with it, but he started to master cutting off the ring.
Mm.
Absolutely.
He has started to master how to cut off the ring, and it's gonna get ugly, man. So I'm gonna give a 10th round stoppage. I think that the corner gonna throw about 3 times in the ring. So man, but let's
Yeah.
get to it, man.
Stoppage is always very possible when going to be there.
Yeah, for sure. But let's get to it, man. To the main event. What we here to really discuss and break down and talk about, man. Um, Matt, I'll let you go first on this one, man. Because me and Lightfoot, we're gonna have a lot of comebacks and a lot of back and forth. This one gonna run. This one
Absolutely.
gonna run for a while. So I'm we'll get this off, man. Like I said, you got Gervonta Tank Davis,
Mhm.
29-0 with 27 knockouts. Think about that.
Yeah.
29-0 with 27 knockouts, and he a little dude. Against Frank the Ghost Martin, 18-0 with 12 KOs. Gervonta coming in at 5.5 feet. He weighed in today at 133.4, which means we have a focused and locked in Tank. He came in 1.5 pounds under, and we just told you about his weight struggles.
Mhm.
This is the same dude that lost a belt on the scale. He came in 1.5 pounds under. We got Frank the Ghost Martin is 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He came in at 134.4. I'm gonna get into my thoughts on what I just saw from the way in. I'm gonna get to my thoughts and all that. But Matt, I'm gonna let you take it off first, man. Just break down Tank for us first, man, and then roll into Frank.
Yeah, man. So looking at these two guys, what I really like about Tank is the way he baits other boxers in, the way he uses his defense, the way he uses his lead hand and his jab to kind of get them to expend a lot of their energy. And then he goes in, and the dude's impact and his power is off the charts. So I mean, you talking about a guy, like you said, he's 133 pounds, but man, his fist and the power that he has whenever he comes with it, with any kind of punch, whether it's uppercuts, hooks, whatever it might be, is ridiculous. And all it takes is one good punch from him, and you're gonna fold up like a lawn chair.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, everything that I've seen from him, it's just the dude he's ridiculous. He's a master in the ring. And if you, like you said, he's focused. He seems to be laser focused. And this one seems to be like where he wants to go out there and really put on a show. Like he wants to show the world that this is his division and that it don't matter who you throw in there with him, they ain't got no chance.
Facts. So what's your take on Tank, Zay?
Man, they always say a happy spider. You look at the press conference, he's going back and forth for Earl and everybody. Tank was in a good mood, man. He was
Mm-hmm.
laughing, he was making jokes, he was relaxed. You know, it was we've seen pictures of Tank 6 weeks ago, cut up, got lines in his shoulders, six pack. So to see him come in 133, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised, but that does, as you said, it goes to show the level of focus that he's at right now. Come like the first fight in boxing when you get to that level is making weight. He already knocked that shit out. No pun intended, right? And 133 pounds. Looking at the weigh-in, Tank is at a point in his career where he has both hands on his own narrative, and I think he's doing a hell of a job. Looking at Tank, lock in, focus. You look at the face off. It's like, nah, man, Tank ain't finna come in here and have fun. It's a fight and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be, as he told Ryan, he said, man, don't bring your mother or your daughter. He should have said it again to Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? And all due respect to Frank, you know, uh, Frank, I think Frank is the best boxer Tank has fought in this
Mm-hmm.
professional career thus far.
By far.
Skill,
Mm-hmm.
speed, quickness, boxing ability, defense, sharp, and slip punches, catch punches. That shit ain't gonna matter, man.
At
I
all.
think we're finally gonna get to see Tank really box, right? They have the narrative that, oh, Tank only fights the flat-footed fighters. He only fights the kung fu fighters. Okay, cool. We're gonna give you this. Of course, they're gonna have something else to say whenever Tank do what he needs to do. But I think Tank's gonna go in there, show boxing ability, set up his traps, walk him down, and it's gonna be lights off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Number one, I really think we've seen this is the grown man really buckling down on his business.
Yep.
Tank. I do believe that was starting to come out a little against Ryan, but
Mm-hmm.
I really believe him spending that time in prison really made him put his
Yes, sir.
values and priorities in order.
Right.
And the first thing he said when he got out was he got a family and people to take care of and people to depend on. And when you come from where you come from and you see those areas every day, because he still stay in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you see those areas every day and you look at your mom who used to be hooked on drugs and
Yep.
you pass the gym where you used to sleep outside the front door for 2 hours
Right.
after school until they woke up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I knew Frank was in trouble the day that he had that press conference when he said he bought them those apartments to do affordable housing. I knew
Right.
right then, Frank. I knew right then what type of tank we were gonna have, and it's been
Yeah.
showing. It's been showing, and now we led up until the first press conference. It was all jokes, and he was shooting off and just being Tank, man. He was basically just sizing up the mental of Frank
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
in this game, Frank is an athlete. He's technically sound, and he has Derrick
Mm-hmm.
James in his corner. So that right there is gonna level you up, anyways. For those of y'all don't know who Derrick James was the 2022 Trainer of the Year. I want to say it was
Hall of Fame
2022
trainer.
Hall of Fame
Mm.
trainer. He was with Spence for a long time. Today he just separated. He had Anthony Joshua for a while. He was the head trainer for Ryan Garcia this past fight with Devin Haney, and now he has Frank. So Derrick James is a very intelligent mind. Like he teaches boxing.
Mhm.
He is not a trainer. He is a true teacher. And if you ever watch him work the corners in between rounds, dude will tell you exactly what to do. And if you go out there and do it, he also had Jamel Charlo. I don't want to leave him out. Also had undisputed
Yeah, Charlo.
undisputed champion, 154, and Jamel Charlo. But if you will watch him when they showed him in the corner, if you do exactly what he tells you to do, you're gonna go out there and stop him. Like it's that
Every
simple.
time. It's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
that simple. It's that simple. But I think with Tank being more mature, more a little older, they have they're the same age at 29. Frank didn't start until high school. He didn't start boxing.
Yeah.
Tank started at 6. You know what I'm saying? They both 29.
Yeah.
But going back into the press conference after the grand arrivals here in Vegas, when Tank jumped at Frank and Frank kind of flinched like he was scared and closed his eyes.
Saw that.
That was a mental test. Like that was a mind game. And he
Yeah.
failed horribly.
Mm-hmm. Let me see where you at right now.
I don't mean to cut you off, but my fiance, she don't even watch boxing. She might sit next to me to watch the fight. But I showed her that part, and she said, "Are they fighting each other?" Yeah, and she said, "Oh, so he's gonna win then, huh?" I was like, "Pretty much,
It's over.
pretty much."
Like what? Like do not be the only thing Tank did was think about it. Think about it, Zay. The only thing he did was faint. He fainted. That's all he did. And
Yeah,
Frank showed his hand on which hand he gonna try to raise us to block that. So
Mhm.
best believe Tank is gonna feint with either a jab or
Yeah,
a check hook, and that left or uppercut is coming.
yeah, and
So
Tank loves throwing that counter uppercut. He loves
do
it.
not
Yep.
be surprised if that liver shot or that left uppercut get Frank out of there in the 9th. Don't be surprised because he showed his hand. Tank is a computer. Now, I
For
will
sure.
tell you that is one thing he got from Floyd. Tank is a
Absolutely.
computer. He is patient. He will sit back.
Yes.
He gonna analyze. He gonna let you be the one to make the first mistake.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Prime example. 2 fights ago, Rolly. This man threw 12 punches the whole fight and got a knockout in the 6th.
Right, right.
Low
You know,
volume, high impact,
but
baby.
he knew. Everybody
That's a
knew.
good one.
Rolly is wild. Everybody wanted because Tank is the face and the name he has. Everybody want to be the first to say, "Oh, I knocked out Gervonta Tank Davis."
Yep.
So they know after a time that he know that somebody gonna act up. Somebody gonna act up real soon, and when they act up, I'm gonna lay you down. Example number 2,
Right.
Ryan Garcia. You did all this talking. I'm gonna
Oh
knock
my
him out in
God.
round 1. I'm gonna knock him out in the first round. I'm gonna knock him out in the first round. First round, you came out there scared, and you thought the second round because Tank was just trying to be defensive that he was gonna come forward at you, and Tank just let you do what you want to do, and you throw the same left hook 3 times in a row, and think this man not gonna time you up. He's shorter than you, bro. What you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was bad. Man, Leo Santa Cruz did the same thing against Tank. He threw that straight right hand like
Ooh.
30 damn times in a row. I'm like,
Matt,
come on, man.
Matt. I don't know if you remember, but that's the fight they was here in San Antonio during COVID. We hit Buddy with that
Mhm.
left uppercut, and he looked like he died underneath the rope in
Yeah.
the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh wee.
Boy, I thought he took his neck off his shoulders.
Damn near did.
Man,
But
that was
bro,
one of the most vicious knockouts.
that was to see it in real time.
And
Mm-hmm.
what punch was it? The counter uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
But
Slam.
Tank got an American bully head, though. He'll
For
take
sure.
3 shots to get off that one because that one he gonna
For
take
sure.
gonna be
That's
stronger than your 3.
lights out.
So I think this is as Calvin Ford says, he looking for somebody to bring the best out of youngin. I think this gonna be the fight because this gonna be the fight where the world is really gonna see the
Mm-hmm.
tools that Tank got in his box. I think
Yeah.
this really gonna be because it's athlete against athlete, but at the end of the day, it's intelligence against inexperience. Because in my
Yes, it
opinion,
is.
it's too early for Frank.
Way
It's
Mm-hmm.
too
too
early.
early.
It's too early. But
Because
everybody see the money.
Frank's best opponent was who? Michelle Rivera?
Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
He dogged
Yeah,
he dogged him.
he
And then
did. He did.
Rivera ended up which he didn't have his best performance because remember he went to the hospital after that, and that's how they found out he popped hot for the steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He was having chest pains and stuff after the fight, and he ended up going to the hospital, and they do your blood work and everything, and he ended up
Yeah.
popping hot because they didn't have
Yeah.
body testing because it wasn't no belt on the line or nothing. They didn't have body testing.
Right.
That's how he ended up getting
Right.
caught.
Right. For this test, they're using the Olympic style drug testing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they're using VADA for this one either.
Yep, Olympic style. So, but it's man for like both y'all just said, for him to come in a pound and a half at age 29, and you
Yeah.
are known to walk around at a bill 65, bill 70,
Yeah.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
you locked in, dog. You locked in. So I'm interested. I'm gonna throw this question at you, man. What is your response to the interaction at the weigh-in? What are your thoughts on that?
You want
Whoever
to take
want to
it?
go first, I don't care. Whoever go first, I don't care.
Oh, it's fight time, man. Like it's fight time. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I've been working my ass off all these weeks, and we are nose to nose. It's fight time. It's not like we finna go hoop. It's not like we finna play cards. No, we laying paws on each other. So none of that surprised me. We really finna fight. We're not gonna argue. We're not gonna text. No, we fight. So it didn't surprise me at all.
Mm.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, not one bit, man. And watching Tank though, watching him the whole time and seeing his facial reactions and the way his body language, everything like that, versus versus Martin, excuse me. Um, man, Tank, like you said, he looks like he's ready, like he knows what's finna happen, and he knows that he's got Frank where he wants him. He knows what he's about to do.
That's exactly where I was going.
He knows exactly what's about to happen tomorrow, and he's ready to get that show going.
That's exactly why I asked, man. Because me looking at it, and then me, I mean, I'm a Spence guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Frank is signed to Man Down Promotion, which
Mhm.
is Spence's promotional team. So I've been watching Frank come up since he first came
Yeah.
on TV. You know what I'm saying? When he was fighting on YouTube before all this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've been watching, his past 10, 11 bouts. And each time he's never acted the way he acted today. So that tells me Tank already done won the first 4 rounds.
Absolutely.
Because he is all the way. He living what did you folks say, rent free?
Rent free.
Yeah. Yeah.
My boy got a condo in his head right now, dog. Because
Yeah.
like that's not Frank. Like just because you live in Dallas don't mean that's you. You didn't get to Dallas till a couple years ago. So you trying to go back and forth and be this tough guy, and now Tank got you out your element. He got you being somebody else. If Derrick James cannot reel that boy in, keep his emotions in check, it might get ugly before 5. Because he gonna step out of line.
It's possible, man. And also, it's like, you know, Tank being at this stage time and time again, Frank's biggest venue probably held 3,000 people. He's gonna walk
Yeah.
out and see 20-some thousand people. The lights are bright. It's louder than he ever heard. You're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be anxious. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get in and throw your first jab, and your arm gonna feel stiff because you looking around in the middle of the ring. It's an environment he's never felt before, and it's not a knock on him. Yeah, I respect Frank for he could have come up with any excuse in the world not to take the fight, but he took it. But at the end of the day, experience is the most important asset when it comes to fighting at a high level, and Frank doesn't have it.
Not at all, man.
His best asset is Derrick James. But a trainer can't fight for you.
Right.
He can't. He can give you all the advice in the world. We've seen a coach lose to another coach that's not as good as him. You understand what I'm saying? But because they can't fight for you, I can tell you, hey, you're not throwing a jab. You're not throwing a whenever you throw that hook, duck under him. And if you don't do it, it don't matter what the coach say. You know,
Right.
so we could be in a situation where it's round 3, round 4, and Frank could have got knocked down already. He could have been wobbled, and Derek's talking to him, and he ain't gonna be able to hear him. You know, the environment is plays such a role. That's why, Floyd used to always say, once you get in them lights, we gonna see. Once we get in them lights, we can see. And this is, it's the same thing. Tank coming from an environment that he came from, it's easy for him to look at somebody and observe you and just pick you apart. He ain't even gotta say nothing. He could pick you apart. You never walk like that before. There your shoulders is up and that, now you slunched over. Tank been doing that all week. He been doing it all week. So absolutely, Frank ain't, he is not afraid of him, I wouldn't say, but Frank is nervous.
He gonna
Frank's trying
second
to put
guess.
on the front that no, I'm ready, I'm ready.
He gonna he
Uh,
gonna second he gonna second
uh,
guess. He gonna second
you
guess
know
a
what I'm
few
saying?
things. He gonna
Yeah.
second guess a few things. Now,
Absolutely.
do y'all feel like Frank was a little dried up at the weigh-in today? Because that boy cheekbones are strong now.
He
Yes,
did look it.
yes.
He did look like it.
That's
And
I feel like that's been Frank's last couple fights. Frank is a musclehead, man.
he is,
Mhm. Yes.
but at the same time, I want you to think about. So they had the weigh-in today. So the press conference was what, yesterday?
Mhm.
Yep.
So think about how Frank looked yesterday. His face was full yesterday.
Yeah.
Today you look like he part of the Adams family. Like, how does, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna factor into that. That made me feel like you went laid in the bathtub of hot water all night.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Shadow
And
boxing with the hot shower running steam so you can sweat it off. Yeah.
Yep.
you can't afford to be putting your body through that kind of torture, knowing
Right here at the fight.
knowing what's coming ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
it could get ugly, dog. It could get ugly. I don't want it to get ugly. I want to see a good fight, but it could get ugly.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And a
Man,
lot of
let's
times,
let's
man, that like these are one of the things that can backfire on Tank because if he can win there and dominate, stop him, mess around 6 rounds, then they're not gonna give him his credit. They you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where he just completely dominate, then oh Frank Martin was nothing. And oh Frank Martin is actually good. But if you going in there a A+ fighter versus somebody who's a little lower, it's just you know what I'm saying?
now I'm a push back on that because that bring me to my point I was just about to make after this. I don't know if you saw the reports. Even Bob Arum had an interview today. They're already in talks with Tank's camp for Lomachenko next.
I saw that earlier on Twitter.
So if he
Make it
go
happen.
if he dominate Frank the way he can and probably will dominate Frank, everybody gonna want to see Loma. Cause it's gonna be more of a talk like, oh, he can't do that against a real boxer. Oh,
Hmm.
he can't do that against Lomachenko. Lomachenko this, Lomachenko that. I don't know why everybody. Lomachenko got 837 fights. Okay, cool. Yeah, we get it. But the boy that got some L's on his record. They act like he Floyd,
Right.
but he still got the name. Bob
Mhm.
Arum want to make the fight. Tank already said Loma was on his hit list. You know, he said he wanted Loma,
Yeah.
he wanted Devin Haney, he wanted Shakur. Who else was on there?
I think he might have said Tiafimo maybe.
Yeah,
Something like he might have.
I
I
think he
could be
said
wrong.
him at
I could be
140.
wrong.
And I think he said he still want that Pitbull Cruz rematch to show that there's levels to this.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he
So
he even said he'll fight Ryan again. Because if people really think that that weight clause made a difference, he was like, okay, if y'all really want that, we could do it again.
facts. And then I think he Keyshawn was a Keyshawn Davis is a possibility.
For who?
It's possibility for Tank.
Come on, man.
Hey, it's,
I like Stephon Davis. I really am a fan, but come on, man.
I'm talking about a fight to make. I ain't saying a possibility like it's gonna be a good fight. I'm saying it's a possible fight that could be made later on the back
They're
end for
gonna
Tank.
ruin that boy's career putting him in there with Tank right now.
That's why I said on the back end. You don't take fight twice a year. So if he say he only fights 6, 7 both fights, Keyshawn got 3 years.
Yeah.
And,
Get him
and
while he's going out.
and you know Bob Arum will throw him in there like Oscar did Canelo with Floyd.
Right. Right.
Go get that check right fast. Come on, bring it on back. But
Right.
I think once again, like Calvin Ford was saying, man, it ain't nothing personal. Like you just had to be the one. I think Frank just had to be the one. You the one that signed up first. You the
Hmm.
one that signed up first, so you the one in the way of what we trying to accomplish. And with Tank having the belt, even though he didn't want the belt, because it
Right.
was just given to him.
Mhm.
And then with him seeing the opportunity, because he's not gonna get Shakur, because Shakur got one more fight with Top Rank, and then we don't know where he's going after this. So Shakur fights on the 6th. Yeah, July 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And right now they saying possibly match room with Eddie Hearn, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So with Tank having a true shot to unify with Loma, and we all know once again boxing is very colorful, so it's gonna be dark crayons on this side, light crayons on that side, but it's gonna be a attractive bout
Mhm.
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
everybody that look like me and you, Zay,
Mm-hmm.
that they ain't even never watched boxing.
Right.
Can't spell Tank. You can put a picture of Tank in a lineup, but they couldn't even pick him out. But
Yeah.
they gonna go for him because it's gonna have that kind of hype around it.
Yeah.
Right. 100%.
It's gonna have that kind of hype around it, man. But man, I gotta ask you this on camera. I know we talked about it a little bit. Adrian Broner, is it
Come
time to
on,
hang it up, man?
listen. Broner, he's actually the reason that I fell in love with the sport of boxing. To be honest,
The
I,
ca-
I'm
the-
like I said, I'm gonna be 25 years old next Friday. I remember watching a couple Floyd fights, and I'm just in high school. I was 16 at the time. I'm scrolling through YouTube, passing time. The title of the video was "World Champion Boxer Goes at Floyd Mayweather." So I'm like, oh, I know I'm going at Floyd, and Broner being Broner was talking spicy to him, and he was getting ready to fight Ashley Theophane. So I'm like, let me check him out. He won the fight, stopped or whatever. And ever since then, I follow Broner. Broner has his nickname is the perfect nickname for him. The problem, because he has 1,042 problems wrong with him. From his lifestyle outside the ring to his lack of discipline, his lack of focus,
Mhm.
to inside the ring, not letting his hands go, trying to mimic Floyd. Because if you really go back and look at Broner's early fights, like I'm not talking about 2014, 15, I'm talking about 2009, 2010. He never used to fight with that shoulder roll. That's not Broner's original style. He's was emulating Floyd, and I understand any boxer, like if R. Kelly, I want to be like Floyd, I want to be like Floyd. But I think the real downfall of his career started whenever he used that shoulder roll, and he
Mhm.
won multiple world titles. Cool. A lot of that was because of the right matchmaking. Because if you go look against people say his best fight was probably Antonio DeMarco. If you really know what to look at, the best version of Broner would have never beat a Maidana, would have never beat a Sean Porter, would have would have never beat a Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So to answer the question, is it time to hang it up? Broner got money problems, man. If Don King gonna cut a little check for him, hey, he got bills to pay, go get it. But from a boxing standpoint, you have to say it's time because you you ain't gonna get no title shot.
No, but this
If
the
as we talk about Cameron, you see the venue he's fighting in. It's 42 people watching him fight. So,
hey, that boy was fighting
so
in the
if you're
school
if you're a
auditorium, wasn't
so if you're a Regis Prograis or a Devin Haney,
he? I ain't
you're
wasting my
not
time
wasting
with that.
time
No,
like that. You know what I'm
no.
saying? You need to hang it up, man. Hang it up.
Matt, did you watch that fight? I think I sent y'all some clips.
Yeah. I do remember
So
you. I do remember seeing.
when he got his tooth knocked out,
Yeah,
but
right. It's at that point. It gets to a point. Yes, I can see. Okay, if you got money issues, whatever. But at some point, it's almost like, man, at what point is it getting sad? You feel what I'm
It's
saying?
been.
And that's the thing. And like, especially the time we live in right now, with the way how big social media is, you ain't no hiding anything. So if you playing in front of, I mean, you fighting in front of,
now you said
what?
right playing. You said right. He in the ring playing. He in the ring
Yeah.
playing.
So at that point, man, it's like you making a mockery of yourself at that point.
Yeah. He's
And so,
taking away from his own legacy right now.
But he
right.
just like for him to talk so much, bro. Like you just
That's his other problem. He don't know when to quit
Like,
with
I
the
get it, but
algorithms.
this my thing though. Like at this point, you ain't even got to talk no more. Everybody just want to see you get your behind whooped because we know what's coming. Like you doing all this talking like for no reason. Like you talking about your partner's got the gun with them. They should have pulled it out after the
Oh
first
yeah,
round
that was crazy.
when your tooth rolling around the canvas. Cause that nigga spanked you, bro. Like he spanked you
And what made it worse,
Man.
Blair Cobbs didn't even look that good.
at all. It looked
He
like a
was
street fight.
floppy. It was horrible. Like Blair Cobbs didn't have a good performance, and he won every second of that fight, hands
It
down.
wasn't even close. It wasn't even close, man. It wasn't even close. But I mean, I know y'all saying money problems, but we also talking about crooked done.
That is true.
It-
That
That's
is true, man.
that's the ultimate scam artist. So you better read that contract very close. Cause Dunn probably getting 35% or whatever you think you're getting.
And he been doing that his whole
Probably
career.
more than that.
And every loss you taking, the venue getting smaller. They gonna pop a ring up in the parking lot and put some folding chairs up soon. Like that's gonna be your next venue.
It's like when you start off on the old boxing video game with a creative
Matt,
play.
Right,
Matt,
right.
Matt, I kid you not, bro. It looked like he was fighting in a high school auditorium.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
sad.
seriously.
It was terrible. And you fighting in Miami. You fighting in Florida, bro, and you ain't got nobody there.
Mm.
But you talking about you doing it for the hood? You got the hood with you? No, you ain't.
Apparently
No.
not.
No.
You ain't got nobody with you, brother.
Mm.
Then you got Coach Calvin look like he don't know what
I
he's
feel
doing.
bad for the dude, man.
So I don't feel bad for him. You started all this. The can
No, he
man,
did. It's definitely self-inflicted, 100%. But I'm
the
just like,
can
dang,
the can
yeah.
man. The downfall of him was when he humped McDonald. That was the downfall of him. You know what I'm talking about. Ever since then, bro,
Yeah, he got him too, and then McDonald got his ass back.
right. Ever since then, he been on the slide, and he did all that talking,
Yeah,
knowing everybody love Pacquiao. Everybody
Mhm.
love Pacquiao. You doing all this talking to Pac,
everybody.
and then you get your behind whooped. You swear up and down you won. Like who won what? And then you fight Blair Cobbs, and you fracture your
Yeah,
elbow,
man.
tear your shoulder, and lose a tooth.
Time
And
to pack it up.
this dude not even in the top 10. You just fought.
He took him for all he had, bro.
Like, come on, dog. Like you lost to Blair Cobbs.
Oh god.
But it's tragic, man.
No, as a man, I can't let somebody beat me in a fight who got painted fingernails. I'm not gonna let that happen.
But when you got gloves on, you can't see him. So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna say what I
Hey.
was gonna say. I'm gonna reel it back in. I'm gonna reel it back in.
Yep, yep.
What's your predictions on the main event, Matt? Let's get back to Tank real quick. What's your predictions? Give me how this fight gonna play out, how it's gonna end, what round.
Man, I think Tank, he's gonna do what he does at the best level he can possibly do it. He's going to set this man up. He's gonna set up traps for him. He's going to let Frank, like we said earlier, Frank is a great athlete. He's got a lot of speed. And a lot of times he's real aggressive. But actually, I think that's going to play into Tank's favor. He's going to bait him in. A lot of time Frank will leave his body open, and Tank's going to take advantage of that. He likes to attack the body. He's going to set him up. He's going to, like you said, Cam, he's probably going to hit him with a real hard liver shot. He's going to mess his body up to the point to where he may not be able to even stand up. I can honestly see this 8-9 round being called TKO. Tank gets number 30, and that's it.
I'm with you. What you got, Lightfoot?
I'll say a 10th round stoppage. And I think the reason it's gonna go 10 rounds because the same way when Jamel Charlo fought Canelo and he felt that first punch and got on a bike,
Yeah, change the game.
I think it'll be very similar for Frank Martin. He's gonna feel something. Oh shit! Let me not stand in the pocket.
Bag up.
You know what I'm saying? I say a 10 round stoppage. I say stoppage. Thanks.
I got you, man. I'm gonna say 10 also, man. The reason I say 10, I think the first 3 rounds are gonna be slow,
Mhm.
only because of the moment for Frank, man. Like all this talking sound good and it sounds sweet until you have to make that long walk to the ring with the music and the fans booing. Cause ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. They
Nah.
come to see Tank. So with the fans on you and talking crazy, and I think the nerves really gonna be kicking. And you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You walking out first. So you standing out there by
Mhm.
yourself trying
Then
to
he got watch
trying to
him.
stay loose, right? You trying to keep your sweat, trying to stay lathered up, trying to stay loose. And Tank walking out and he gonna look like he partying, you know what I'm saying? You know, Tank be
Yeah.
vibing when with his little
Yeah.
walkouts, you know, like I'm here, like let's do it. And I think the moment gonna be a little too big for him. And of course, Tank being the way he is, being a computer, he not
Mhm.
gonna rush nothing. What I think is gonna be Frank's downfall is Frank loves to fight off the back foot. And
Right.
Tank is even with him being an athlete. Now, when we say athlete, Frank is good with the counter punching and then disappearing later
Mm-hmm.
in the fight. In the middle
Mhm.
of the fights, he'll sit back on that back foot. He'll throw a check hook or a jab or try to throw a power straight left. You know what I'm saying? Because they're both southpaws, so he'll
Mhm.
try to
Right.
come with a power left. But with him sitting on the back foot, he keeps his body exposed, like you said, Matt, and he keeps his head on the line.
Yep.
It's either gonna be a duck
Absolutely.
down, or you know what I'm saying. It's never side to side. It's a duck down and pop back up, and you cannot do that with Tank. And
Mhm.
I think it's only gonna take, I want to say around the 5th round, Tank gonna be like, okay, I got you, and the trap gonna be set.
Yep.
And I'm not saying he gonna knock him out in the 6th, but he gonna give Frank something that he gonna feel and think about for the rest of the night in there. And after that, he's just gonna pour it on because he's not gonna, like you said, he's not gonna stay in the pocket. He not Frank is not known to come forward until he hits you with a counter and he hurts you. Like once he touches you and feels
Right.
you,
Right.
or
That
Mhm.
gets
I was
or
just
gets
yeah.
or
That's
gets that
exactly what I was just
reaction,
going to
or
talk
gets
about.
that reaction out of you,
Yeah.
that's when Frank comes forward. That's the only time he comes forward. And for the most part, unless he knows
For
he's
sure.
just
Like I'm
over,
glad you said that because I can see Frank. I'm sorry. I can see Frank getting stuck behind his jab.
right,
You
Yeah.
get what I'm
right,
saying? I think it might be difficult for him to really put his combinations together against Tank, and I can see him getting into a position to where he's stuck on the throw one punch at a time,
yeah,
and that's not the position he needs to be in.
yeah, not at all, man. But
Mhm.
because like you said, the only time he tries to walk down the opponent is when he knows he is substantially better than his opponent.
Right.
You know what
He
I'm
can
saying?
afford to
Like,
be more aggressive.
right, like he knows, okay, I can take these chances because he ain't got nothing for me.
Mhm.
Like prime example, Rivera in the Rivera fight.
Yeah.
Once he knew he hurt Rivera, he was straight attack mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Frank's last
Yeah.
fight against, who was it? Arturum, however you say his name. When the most recent fight he
The
had.
guy Shakur in the fight, same
Yeah,
guy, if I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. He had a
Yeah.
terrible performance because Buddy, even though
Mm-hmm.
Frank countered him, but Buddy was a good counter puncher. You know what I'm saying? So Buddy would
Yep.
throw a
Absolutely.
lead jab, Frank would counter, and that
Mm.
dude would counter right back. So he had Frank
Yeah.
on his back foot the whole fight. And wasn't until the 12th round where Frank poured it on with like a minute left and Buddy finally took a knee. That's the only reason he won the fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Because before that, you know what I'm saying, if you take a knee, that's a technical knockdown. So he got the 10-8
Yep.
round. So he ended up winning that fight 115, 112, 115, 112, and then 114, 113. So if you
Mhm.
don't
Mm.
get that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying,
He
it's no telling how this fight could have
Right.
played out.
could easily go another way.
Or it could have been a draw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could have been a split decision draw, or it could have been a majority draw. You never
Right.
know how it played out. So it's gonna be a situation where he is gonna have to do something that you have not shown. It's difficult to do that when the moment is so big. Because even though you've been training to fight and counter a certain way, like Marshawn Lynch say, everybody got a plan till you get hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
And then once you
Yeah.
get hit in the mouth,
Straight up.
you revert back to habits. And his habit is to sit back
Exactly.
on that back foot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say 10th round. I'm going with a body shot, man. just because of after seeing Frank's body today and how you had to break it down to make weight, and you made it 134.4, seeing his body the way it was today, knowing you're gonna rehydrate, but I mean, bro, you that's gonna be fluff in that area that was usually
Yeah.
tightened up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can see a body shot. Um, not the same kind of body shot with the left hook that he hit Ryan with. It's gonna be more of a uppercut style body shot ish with the same kind of power. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like that Cuban
Hmm.
flair that they do. I can see that get him out of
Right,
there
right, right.
in the 10th round, man. So I'm going Tank with the 10th round stoppage, man. So, man, fellas, it should be a good one. Shoot, if y'all wanna, we'll chop it up on the outside this. But man, Lightfoot, man, appreciate you joining us tonight. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I know we do this, man. You've been talking boxing for
Thank
the
you for
past.
having me. I had fun,
Oh
man. I
yeah,
had a blast.
oh yeah,
For
no
sure. For
problem,
sure.
man. Man, you've been talking boxing for the past 3-4 years, man. We love it. We had
Yeah.
had a spurt where boxing was born for a little minute, man. But now it seems like,
Yeah.
especially the past 2 summers, boxing been hot. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Real
we
hot.
done hit
Real hot.
we didn't hit that time period where boxing is starting to bring the flair back, starting to bring the entertainment back. You
Mhm.
starting to get, the hype behind it, man. And it's genuine hype, and it's not just people trying to create matchups. You actually getting decent fights and decent opponents, and styles make fights, and we actually getting styles that can clash and make a great fight. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But as always, man, everybody out there, like, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate everybody tuning in, man. This will not be the last episode of boxing we discuss. So, Lightfoot, whenever you're available for another big fight, hey man, if you got time, I know life is life. You got stuff going on, but whenever a fight going on, we'll try to do another one like this, and we love to have you on, man. Hopefully next time we got another one. Our other
For sure.
co-host
For sure.
Bill, our other co-host Lil Bill, he's a big boxer. He's a big Tank fan.
Yeah. Oh
Every
yeah.
time Tank
Okay.
fight, he say Tank and 8, Tank and 8, Tank and 8. That's all he ever
Every
say,
fight.
Tank and 8. But Tank is his favorite boxer, man. So we had him on earlier in the week. He gave his breakdown, so he couldn't get on tonight, man. But for sure, man, we love to have you on here, man. But at the end of the day, you heard what we said, and we out.